The African wilderness offers no polite warnings. It strikes with sudden, absolute violence. One minute the grasslands lie motionless under the baking sun. The next, the very earth erupts as hunters emerge from the camouflage. This acts as an unforgiving arena where second chances simply do not exist. Here, authority isn't a birthright, it is seized in blood, and the lion wears the crown only because it dares to enforce its will. Spanning these immense plains, ownership is the only law that matters. Boundaries aren't marked on paper but are carved out through sheer aggression, tactical genius, and brute force. At the heart of this harsh geometry sits the pride, a living engine fueled by starvation and instinct. Their gaze sweeps the horizon with icy calculation, ignoring the scenery to lock onto the slightest limp or stumble. A snapped twig, a shift in the wind, a sudden silence, any of these can trigger the chaotic scramble that determines who feasts tonight and who becomes the feast. Solitary predators have their place, but lions master the art of the collective. The pride operates like a single, multi-limbed beast, tethered by an ancient, unspoken understanding. Females dissolve into the tall grass, bellies scraping the dirt, breath held tight. Silence is their primary weapon. This isn't a mad dash. It is military-grade coordination honed over thousands of years of evolution. Up ahead, a massive herd of herbivores picks up on the fatal electricity in the air. Dust motes dance in the heat. Sinews stiffen. Do not mistake their grazing for passivity. These are battle-hardened veterans, capable of flipping the script in a heartbeat. One sloppy approach, one fraction of a second off, and the predator is trampled into the dust. As the gap shrinks, the atmosphere grows heavy as if the world is holding its breath. The hunters trade, no glances, make no sounds. They don't have to. Ancestral memory drives them, pulling the noose tight around their quarry. Turning back is off the table. The collision is now a certainty, and once the first move is made, total commitment is the only option. Forget about fairy tales. The wild knows only the brutal mathematics of survival. There are no good guys or bad guys here, just the living and the dying. Stick around, because what happens next demonstrates how fragile dominance really is, how teamwork turns into a lethal tool, and how even the kings of this domain must gamble their lives to keep their crowns. If you want a front row seat to the unfiltered reality of nature, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. Each scene we show takes you further into the merciless core of the animal kingdom. The split second the ambush launches, the landscape descends into pandemonium. The herd's reaction is instantaneous. A scattered group transforms into an impenetrable fortress of lowered horns and stomping hooves. They don't run blindly, they rally. Vulnerable young are shoved to the center, shielded by a rapidly tightening ring of ton-heavy bodyguards. This is defense perfected by evolution, a collective shield forged in the fires of a million near-death experiences. For the attackers, this is the red zone. Velocity alone won't cut it anymore. Now muscle meets immovable object, and bravery crashes against frantic self-defense. The pride surges in waves, testing the perimeter for a flinch or a gap. But every inch gained comes with deadly stakes. One mistake doesn't just mean a failed meal. It means a broken bone and a slow death. A huntress swings wide to fracture their focus, while another drives hard from the back, injecting panic into the center. Hooves churn the earth into a blinding cloud as the defenders countercharge with explosive force. The ground shudders under the impact. It is a clash of titans, and for a breathless second, neither the immovable wall nor the unstoppable force gives an inch. This is where veteran instincts take over. The cats aren't thrashing wildly. They are surgical, watching for the first sign of fatigue. A stumble, a heave of the chest. Panic is a quiet killer out here. It seeps into the herd, dulling reflexes and breaking ranks. The predators smell that fear before they even see it. The scale begins to tip. It is a high-stakes standoff, where every passing second drains energy reserves. Time is the enemy of the attacker. The lions understand the physics of this fight: close the deal fast or starve. There are no participation trophies in the bush, only full bellies or festering wounds. As the stress peaks, the wild enforces its harshest lesson. Brute strength isn't a golden ticket, and a big gang doesn't guarantee a win. Only those who can adapt on the fly, read the chaos, and work as a flawless unit get to walk away when the dust clears. Don't go anywhere. The breaking point is here. The upcoming sequence shows how tactical brilliance beats raw power, and how one slip-up can dismantle the toughest defense. If you appreciate the raw intelligence of nature's wars, like this video, and subscribe to stay in the loop. The wild doesn't pause, and neither should you. No standoff lasts forever. Nature punishes the hesitant and drains the weary. The defensive line starts to fray, not from terror but from sheer physical exhaustion. Lungs burn, the formation shrinks just a hair too much, creating a blind spot. The lions see it instantly. That tiny error is the invitation they needed. The pride shifts gears with terrifying speed. Two females dart in a feint designed to trigger a reaction rather than a kill. The herd takes the bait and lunges, but that aggression opens a seam. In this game, space equals death. The wall cracks for a millisecond, and that is all the opportunity the hunters require. One animal drifts just a fraction too far back. It isn't necessarily the sick or the small, just the unlucky one caught out of position. The pride collapses on the victim with synchronized lethality. They cut off the exit angles, swarming from all sides. It isn't a messy brawl. It is a calculated execution. The plain becomes a blur of motion as the eternal dance of predator and prey plays out once more. But the victim doesn't go down quietly. Every kick packs enough torque to shatter a skull. The lions are bucked off, forced to regroup and reset. This transcends physical strength. It is a contest of pure will. The cats rotate, keeping the harassment constant, refusing to let the prey catch its breath. Time is now their silent ally. Slowly, the adrenaline fades, replaced by leaden fatigue. The rest of the herd pulls back, the survival instinct overriding the urge to protect. The chosen target is left stranded, a solitary figure against a merciless backdrop. The lions tighten the circle, moving with grim deliberation. The frenzy is gone. Now it is simply the inevitable conclusion. Scenes like this establish the pecking order of the ecosystem. It isn't about cruelty or malice. It is about the equilibrium of nature. The hunter keeps the herd strong. The herd keeps the hunter sharp. They are two halves of the same pulse beating through the grasslands. If you want to comprehend how strategy and cooperation determine who lives to see sunrise, keep watching. Hit like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss a beat of this savage, beautiful saga. The struggle ends, but the tension remains. The wilderness never truly relaxes. Winning is temporary here. The lions drag their prize into the shade, saving their strength knowing this meal is just a pause button. Hunger is always just around the corner, and rivals are always watching. The earth never forgets a weakness. Beyond the pride's borders, other killers stalk the landscape. Down by the twisting rivers, dinosaurs still rule. Beneath the glassy surface, reptiles wait with a patience that spans eons, eyes locked on the muddy banks. Here the chase is replaced by the ambush. One explosive snap of jaws determines the future. Out on the open veldt, the survivors shake off the trauma and march on. Their safety lies in numbers. Stripes merge into a dizzying optical illusion. Horns test the breeze. Every species evolves not to conquer, but to endure. The winners aren't always the heavyweights, but the ones who can read the warnings written in the wind. The lion pride knows this better than anyone. Their reign is built on knowing when to strike and when to sleep. They patrol their perimeter, knowing that invisible boundaries are constantly probed by vagabonds looking for a way in. A sign of weakness today invites a coup tomorrow. Their roar is a sonic keep-out sign meant for anyone brave enough to listen. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah changes its skin. Shadows lengthen into cloaks for the nocturnal hunters. The acoustic landscape shifts. The board is reset for the night shift. Safety is a myth here. Life is just a long series of close calls and calculated risks. If you are fascinated by the hidden warfare and complex strategies of the bush, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and join us as the final act exposes why this brutal system creates a perfect, enduring circle of life. When the dust settles, the reality is stark but simple. This isn't a world of malice, it is a world of need. Every sprint, every kill, and every escape fuels the engine of the ecosystem. Lions don't kill for sport or status, they kill to remain. In doing so, they sculpt the destiny of every other animal on the plains. The horizon is endless, paved with stories of survival. Tomorrow brings a new test. Maybe a rival coalition invades, or the prey fights back harder. There are no guarantees. Even the top boss has to evolve or die. This relentless pressure is the whetstone that keeps the wild sharp, ensuring that incompetence is weeded out immediately. What remains is the rhythm. The ancient push and pull between the eater and the eaten, neither good nor evil, just necessary. The lion isn't an icon because he is invincible, but because he puts his life on the line every time he steps into the arena. That courage is the heartbeat of the wild. When the fiery sun finally vanishes behind the edge of the earth, the savannah doesn't just go dark, it transforms into a battlefield. The narrative of life and death doesn't wrap up here. It just resets the clock. Concealed within the thicket, a pair of lethal eyes snaps open. Massive muscles ripple with tension, and the primal fight for survival kicks into high gear all over again. If experiencing the raw, unfiltered violence of the wilderness left you on the edge of your seat, help us grow by hitting the like button, locking in that subscription, and sharing this with fellow adrenaline junkies who respect the ferocity of nature. Keep your notifications on for more untamed encounters, because out here every split second is a matter of life or death.